A new video game announcement today could have huge impacts on Grand Theft Auto 6. We'll be talking about what that is and more all in this video today. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about something that a lot of people are either worried about or interested in when it comes to the development of Grand Theft Auto 6, and that is AI. Now, when we've talked about AI here on the channel, it's usually about in the realm of creating things that aren't real or that are made to be believable, whether it be screenshots or whether it be audio that has been replicated to say so-and-so said something when they really didn't. Well, Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, actually was asked about that, if AI was going to be able to create a version of Grand Theft Auto 6 that their developers could not. He responded with no way, like it doesn't work that way. Take a listen to this right here.
One of the questions I'm often asked is, does generative AI mean that someone sitting at home can ask ChatGPT 14 to make a GTA competitor, code it, give me the marketing materials, and we're off to the races? I don't believe for a minute that that's going to happen. There's no evidence that tool sets allow people to win creatively. So I don't think that we're in a situation where generative AI is going to change the underlying business dynamics. To the contrary, I think these are phenomenal digital tools, and the more mundane tasks will be done more automatically, and that's the history of our business. And the creative tasks will still be done by amazing human beings. And it'll be the intersection of the technology and human genius that will create hits on an ongoing basis. I'll give you an example. When I started in 1993, if we wanted to create a lawn in a video game, we had artists who had to create an individual blade of grass, or it would just look like paint. Well, today, if one of our artists wants to create a lawn, they press a button, lawn. Again, that's before generative AI. So I think you're going to see much more of that, but that's not really going to change the character of the business. And I wish I could say it would reduce our cost. For some of our lighter offerings, it may. For example, level creation in the mobile business is probably going to become more efficient. For our big, robust releases, I think the cost reduction that we may find with technology will be swamped by the ability to do more, and we're going to want to do more, and our consumers will demand more. One of I think the mistakes that people make is to believe somehow that generative AI is going to reduce employment. The history of technology is it increases employment, always increases employment. And even the paperless office, turns out offices use more paper than they ever had before. So I think that technology will allow us to do more for our consumers. That'll build the market. That will increase employment. But the exciting thing is, the ability to make something that's even more beautiful, even more compelling, even more interesting.
So Strauss Zelnick 100% believes that while AI is a helpful tool, it's not necessarily something that can just create Grand Theft Auto 6 out of thin air. And on that subject, Strauss was also asked about that in an interview just a few days ago. This is on gamesradar.com. The article goes on to say, speaking to Carolyn Daly for her book, The Creative Entrepreneur, Zelnick gave his advice on being successful in the games industry, saying, be the most creative, meaning hire the best creators and insist they pursue their passions. Encourage them to always try something new and stay away from derivative and copycat works. Adding, in Hollywood, it's common to pitch your product as it's a combination of Spider-Man meets Batman meets Back to the Future. We don't do that here. We want something you've never seen before. And he maintains that the biggest hits in every medium have been unexpected, and due to generative AI being built off the backs of the actual talented artists creating things, Zelnick doesn't see a hit like GTA 6 coming from AI. Going on to say, this is why I'm not worried about AI creating hits, because it's built on data that already exists. It's backwards looking. Big hits are forward looking and therefore needed to be created out of thin air. Being the most creative means not just thinking outside the box, it means that there is no box. So again, no need to worry about AI taking over Grand Theft Auto 6 or it being less realistic or looking a certain different way than previous titles. That's not the case. As he explained in the interview and as he explained in the Games Radar interview, AI is something that might be able to help them in some tasks, but it doesn't take away the game development process all the way around. And sort of building off of that on the subject of AI and how that helps make video games, many have wondered, will that impact the price of Grand Theft Auto 6? Would it go up? Would it go down? Because there's been rumors galore over the last couple of months that GTA 6 could be priced anywhere from $80 to $100 for the normal game. I'm not talking about a collector's edition. I'm not talking about a, premium edition that has certain bonuses and whatnot. I'm just talking about you pay for the game. That's it. Because over the last couple of years, we have seen a trend of video games getting more expensive. When I was growing up and when I was going to GameStop after school, it was $59.99 for a brand new game for all your titles on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, etc. Now, that price seems to have shifted from $59.99 to $69.99. That seems to be the new standard for games. And that's understandable. Games are bigger and better than ever. They're more expensive to make as they become more realistic and more in-depth. So I understand the $10 increase. Well, like I said, rumors over the last couple of weeks and months have said, GTA 6 has the potential to blow that out of the door because it's going to be the biggest game of all time. And Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive probably know that they could charge whatever they wanted and fans will still pay for it. Well, earlier today, Nintendo had one of their conferences, Nintendo Direct, where they were talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, a new console that's going to be coming out a little bit later on this year. And alongside the console and showing off the prices, they also showed off some of the games that were going to be coming out and the prices of those games. And guess what? Nintendo is going to be charging even more than other titles. For Nintendo's new title, Mario Kart World, it's going to be available on June 5th for $79.99, essentially making it $10 more expensive than other new games. And so when fans saw this, they said, oh my gosh, if Nintendo can charge $10 more for Mario Kart World, making it $80, what's to say Rockstar couldn't charge more for that? In fact, because of that Nintendo Direct, now Grand Theft Auto 6 is trending on social media, which, yes, it does a lot, but it's in direct response to the Nintendo Direct. In fact, you can even see alongside GTA 6 trending, and unfortunately Val Kilmer passing away, that $80 is something that's trending alongside other video games, Pokemon, etc. So a lot of fans are correlating those two stories together, that because Nintendo has now set this high bar, Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive can say $80, well, we can make GTA 6 $90, and fans would probably end up paying for it. And believe it or not, sooner rather than later, we are going to figure out the price of GTA 6. That feels a little bit unbelievable just because it's been nearly 500 days since we've heard from Rockstar. But at some point in time, they have to reveal how much the game is ultimately going to cost. And so that's the question I want to leave up to you guys. How much would you be willing to pay for just a normal version of Grand Theft Auto 6? Would it be $70, $80, $90? Would you be willing to go all the way up to $100, knowing that this is probably going to be the game of the decade, if not the game of the century? Obviously, the most anticipated title of all time. Again, let me know what you think, though, in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel, and be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.